president's window.
And we'll
And
cover it.
Fox is in the business of saying that this woman is somehow saying un-American things, hyperbole.
No.
Listen to what she said.
Nobody said she said anything un-American. We say that her positions are radical, and they are radical.
Let me tell you what's radical. What's radical is to send more Americans to die in this war, which is a monumental blunder by a president who swaggered us into it with, by the way, the at least tacit approval of the Democratic Party.
You know,
there's a lot of sin to go around here.
What's radical for you?
Do you want to send more people to this war?
Listen,
is that your position?
If we cut and run out of there like you want to do, we would be putting every American in 1,000 times more jeopardy than they're in now.
We're going to cut and run anyway,
well,
Bill.
That's your opinion.
What's my opinion? American military leaders have said we're going to draw down beginning next year.
The difference between drawing down and cutting and running. Well, you're a cut and run guy, and I don't want my family in danger.
You want to stay the course, don't you?
Look. Here's what I want to do. I want to give the Iraqis a chance to train their army so they can defeat these people who are trying to turn it into a terrorist state.
Bill.
That's what I want to do.
Bill.
Go.
Iraq was not a terrorist state.
Oh, no.
I hope I don't patronize you for saying
guy.
Again.
He was just a great guy.
Saddam was a bastard, but he was our bastard.
He wasn't anybody.
Donald Rumsfeld shook his hand in the 80s.
Well, that's great.
You saw the pictures. Now, listen. You wouldn't send your children to this war, Bill.
My nephew just enlisted in the Army. You don't know what the hell you're talking about.
Very good. Congratulations, Steve.
Yeah, and he's a patriot, so don't denigrate his service or I'll boot you right off the set.
I'm not.
That boy made a decision to serve his country. Do not denigrate him or you're out of here.
I'm not Jeremy Glick, Billy.
That's right. A little bit more intelligence than
I'm not somebody you can come and just spew all
Don't tell me I wouldn't send my kids.
Loud doesn't mean
right. My nephew just enlisted. You don't know what you're talking about.
Your nephew is not your kid.
He's my blood.
You are part of a loud group of people who want to prove they're tough and send other people's kids to war to make the case.
You have no clue about how to fight a war on terror or how to defend your country. You are clueless, so is Sheehan. And for Sheehan to say that the insurgents have a right to kill Americans and you're shaking her hand, you ought to just walk away.
How many more young men and women are you going to send to have their arms and legs blown off so that you can be tough and point at people in a kind of cowardly way, take people like Jeremy Glick, who comes on in memory of his parents, and you go off on him like a big bully. Billy, you have to
Mr. Donnie, with all due respect,
have you apologized to him for that?
Baloney. Jeremy Glick came on this program and accused the President of the United States of orchestrating 9/11. That's what he did. Right after 9/11 happened. Do you know what the pain that brought the families who lost people at 9/11?
This war.
You buy into left-wing propaganda, and you're a mouthpiece for it. Go ahead.
This war is not fair to the American troops. This war is unconstitutional. This war turned its back on the people who framed the most fabulous document in the history of civilization. I speak of the United States Constitution.
All right. Why isn't the Democratic Party speaking that way?
I'm sorry that it isn't. I am, but let's understand something.
Are we all so misguided?
21 Democrats in the Senate voted against this war, as well as Jeffords, an independent, and may the Lord shine his blessings down upon Lincoln Chafee.
I'm going to say something.
I'm almost finished, Billy.
I'm going to give you the last
word. I'm almost finished. Lincoln Chafee, the only Republican in the Senate to vote against this war. We should be building statues to all these people. October 2002, they stood up to a president, and they knew that, first of all, only Congress can declare war. Why is that unimportant to you, Billy?
Listen,
why can't you become the patriot that your loud voice proclaims to be and stand behind the Constitution and insist that we never go to war again without the approval and consent of the United States Congress.
If they want to take action, they can take action. Now, I'm going to say something. I'm going to give the last word. The Iraq War is not something that I embrace. It absolutely could be a tactical error. All right, just
hard to know this.
Listen to me, and then you can have the last word. Not something they embrace. Could be a tactical error, optional war, and we have not waged it the way I had hoped we would wage it.
But what?
But We are in a war on terror. We are in a war on terror. Our cause is
nothing
noble.
to do with the war on terror.
Yes, it does. And if you don't understand geopolitics, if you don't understand Iraq would be a terrorist state if we pulled out of there, and you don't know anything.
It was poorly planned and poorly executed, but Bill O'Reilly wants to send more kids to fight and die. We've already had almost 2,000. Just let me have the last word. In the last year, two things have doubled. The number of dead American troops in Iraq have doubled from over 1,000 to almost 2,000. You know what else doubled, Billy? The price of Halliburton stock from $33 to $66. That doesn't shame you? That doesn't make you wonder whether this is an enterprise that is worth the support of the American people? We need you at this rally on Saturday, Billy. We need you out there in front of it. But to protest.
I'm not going to be
There is
rally,
no democracy without dissent. You should be proud of people who stand up and dissent.
I respect your dissent.
A lot of fine men went and died to give me that freedom.
You got it. I respect your dissent. I think you're way off in your analysis.
You want to send more people to die in Iraq? Is that
want to win the war in Iraq?
Win. What does win mean?
It means
Tell me
those
what win
people
means.
have a chance at democracy. I got to go.
How long is that going to take?
I got to go.
How long is that going to take?
Those people deserve a chance at freedom. I already explained that to you. If you can't grasp it, I can't help you. You saying that I described him as openly gay, which is true, equates to me calling him a pervert pedophile, is a disgrace. It's a disgrace in any column. It's a smear. You're a smear merchant. That's what you do. You can't back it up. Now, do you support Jessica's law? No, you can't. You can't back it up at all. If you could, you would have put it in your vile little column. All you did was make this giant leap. That's your opinion, fine. And your opinion is your opinion, but you're a smear merchant. That's a smear. That's what you do. Now, do you oppose Jessica's law? Do you oppose it?
Bill, I don't think the question here is whether or not I support it.
No. That's the question because that's what we are doing in Colorado. Do you, as the editorial page editor of the Denver Post, do you support Jessica's law or not?
Listen, I don't know enough about it.
You don't know enough about it. So you write a column about our reporting and you don't know enough about it.
I wrote a column about your comments on his sexuality.
Yeah, his description. I described him the way he describes himself.
If you had simply said Democrats in Colorado oppose Jessica's law, here's why, I probably never would have brought it up.
Look,
but the fact of the matter is that you used his sexuality to impugn his character
and to imply to your viewers
I
said
that
what his priorities are as Speaker of the House.
Yeah.
Look, I'm going to post this on BillO'Reilly.com, the whole thing, so people can see what a charlatan you are. You can't win the argument. You don't know what you're talking about, Jessica's law. You run the editorial page on the most powerful paper in the state, and you don't know anything, and all you can do is smear.
I know.
That's all you can do.
That's not true,
You
Bill.
don't know anything about Jessica's law. This has been in play for 5 years out there.
Here's what I do know about Jessica's law.
What?
No one in law enforcement in Colorado supported it in 2007, 2009, or again this year.
Okay.
In fact, it's only brought up when the Republicans are in the minority in Colorado, not when they had the majority. It's been used against Democrats as a wedge issue politically.
Right, but you don't know whether you support it or not. All you know is that no one, and believe me, I'll get law enforcement from Colorado on here, and I'll make you look foolish on that statement. But you don't even know about it, and you're the editorial director of the Denver Post.
I do know
Well, do you support it or not? Do you support it or not?
You have to ask me which version I'm supporting. Am I supporting the 2007 version that included
the mandatory 25 to life for rapists, child rapists?
This year's. I think that we have seen in our judicial system that mandatory sentencing oftentimes has unintended consequences.
All right, so you don't support it.
Colorado has strong sex offender laws. Yeah. I don't see any reason to change Colorado's sex offender laws.
I got a dozen child rapists doing less than 5 years in your state, Mr. Hubbard. Maybe you ought to do a little research about it.
Lifetime probation, which is something unique to Colorado, which I've done research on.
Ooh,
lifetime probation
for rape. You know, if you had a kid and somebody raped that kid and they got lifetime probation, you'd probably be out there with a gun, Mr. Hubbard.
That's in addition to their prison sentences, Bill.
Yeah,
and
the 2 or 3 years that they got,
the
2 or 3 years that they got, that's good. The soccer coach that raped the kid and got.
Colorado.
All right, I'm just going to say, You need to look up Delbert Wallace Stewart. You need to find out what that man did, what a Colorado judge gave him, and then you need to come back on this show and tell me you don't need Jessica's law. All right, Mr. Hubbard?
I can tell you I know about that case. Sure, I'm happy to come back and discuss it with you anytime, Bill.
Very good. When we come right back.
This season, it's Bill O'Reilly. Bill O'Reilly on Fox 5. He wants to see a manager.
Know what you're going to do. It's 3 hours late now. No. You're going to find out. You look at him like this. Warm in and oh, yeah? You're threatening me with violence. No, I'm not. You're the one. I dare you. I dare you. Is that what you said? You said you're doing good for them. I said you're watching that you don't. You can't get that information. You're going to lose your job. More than you need. Okay? We'll see you.
Bill O'Reilly lost his temper.
You tell him, Bill. We're supposed to be on here for 15 minutes. This idiot goes 35, okay? All he's got in 6.5 years is that I misspoke, that I labeled a polk award a Peabody. He writes it in his book. He tries to make me out to be a liar.
No,
hey,
that's
shut up.
No,
you had your 35 minutes. Shut up.
This isn't your show,
This is what this guy does.
Bill,
this is what he does.
You can't tell.
This is what he does.
Take control, Pat. Come on.
I think, wait a minute, I think I need a whistle and a striped shirt. I'm not to be a referee.
Maybe I went on long because I got some laughs, Bill.
Can you please control him? This guy accuses me of being a liar, ladies and gentlemen, on national television because I misspoke and labeled a Peabody a poke. I didn't mention we won 4 national headliners, okay? This is what this guy does. He demonizes it, all right? And then other people pick it up. Now, if it's important to you that I misspoke and labeled a Peabody a poke,
you didn't just misspeak.
That's fine, okay? This is what he does. He's a vicious, and that is with a capital V, person who is blinded by ideology. And that's all I'll say about everybody.